a huge percentage of the hill peoples argue mythologically that they once had writing and once lived in the valley and once grew wet rice. I'm suggesting that we take this story as a possible true story. We know lots of these people did live in valleys. We know that they did grow wet rice. It's almost certain that they lived in literate areas. They probably had a literate minority. And my guess is, although we don't have any strong evidence of this, is that as they moved away, and most of them, of course, didn't move away. They stayed and became Chinese or Burmans. But those who moved away, first of all, they were unlikely to take their books and the small percentage of literate people they had with them. Secondly, it was to their advantage to rework their genealogy and the history of their movements as they threaded their way among more powerful people to make up their history as they went along. And it was to their advantage to not have a written text which doesn't change, which you can refer to, which creates an orthodoxy. So having an oral history is a way of having a history that allows you to remain traditional and yet change it imperceptibly through your bards. It's also worth reminding ourselves that writing has always come historically with states. That is to say, peasants, all the early peasant rebellions, the first thing they do is attack the records office and burn all the paper. Because what does writing represent for peasants? It represents lists of taxes, cadastral surveys of land to be taxed. It's in a sense the apparatus of state administration that has to do with taxes and conscription. And so another reason to put yourself at a distance from writing. And Claude Lévi-Strauss says more or less what I'm saying. But there's so little evidence for it, and I'm so little confident that I could prove it to someone who was skeptical, that I called the chapter 6.5 and said, well, you figure it out. I think this is what might be going on, and go out there and prove me wrong or prove me right.
Okay.